Doyle, I tell you that I, Salome Otterbull, have succeeded where frail men have faltered. I am a finer sleuth than even the great Hercule Poirot.
Mrs. Otterburn, for God's sake, calm down.
David Suchet is Hercule Poirot came alive. No, forget about Suchet. Kenneth Branagh is the new master of the genre. Wait a minute, and what about the marvelous Peter Ustinov? Well, in fact, there were way more actors who tried their best to portray the most famous Agatha Christie's character. Pardon me, fans of Miss Marple, we'll get to her in the future videos. In today's episode, we will look at all of them and award the title of the best Poirot out there on screens.
At last, at the end of my career, I had come across the perfect criminal. Well, nearly perfect.
Well, a small correction here. Agatha Christie continued to employ Poirot for 55 years. As a result, he became the leading character of 33 novels, 2 plays and 50 short stories. This way, since the late 1920s, the Belgian eccentric detective has been reimagined and depicted on stage, screen and radio by over 40 actors. Obviously, it would be impossible to pay due attention to all of them in this video, yet you'll still get a pretty good idea of how his likeness evolved in movies and TV series over all these years.
You see, I know all I tell you.
Now look, I will not take that pushing me. I'll bargain.
Let's begin with the order of precedence. The first screen portrayal of Poirot came in the form of an Irish actor, Trevor, who played his part in 3 British films: Alibi in Black Coffee in 1931 and Lord Edgware Dies in 1934. Alibi producer and director turned the character into a typical 30s sleuth. Like, could you imagine Monsieur Poirot without his famous moustache? In addition, it is believed that Trevor claimed that he was cast because he could do a great French accent.
Monsieur Poirot, I believe.
At your service, Lady Edgware.
Oh, you Frenchmen are so cute. I just love your Parisian manners.
Belgian.
Monsieur Poirot, I've just got to get rid of my husband.
But, madame, getting rid of husbands is not my speciality.
No wonder that Agatha Christie could have raised her eyebrows at such daring liberty by the film director, and then bitterly suffer each time she saw just another frivolous incarnation of her character. Watch my previous video about the real prototypes of Hercule Poirot to learn more about the thorough development of his personality. The next milestone of Poirot's journey on screens was his appearance in the first adaptation of Murder on the Orient Express, where the Belgian detective was played by an English actor, Albert Finney. It was released in 1974 when the actor was just 38 years old. Well, that was quite a digression from the author's idea, since Christie's character has begun his detective track record on British soil somewhere in his late 60s. They say that everyone understood that Albert Finney was perhaps too young to play Poirot, but eventually he was chosen, regardless of that tiny detail, since they decided that he could be made up to resemble an older detective.
Not now. When it's all over, when it's behind us, then.
When what was all over, Miss Deborah?
The official website of Agatha Christie says that his metamorphosis required Finney many hours of makeup to become Poirot. Every morning of filming, the actor would be picked up from his house in an ambulance, where he would sleep, and the makeup artist would begin their work on the transformation. The process would then continue in the studio, where he would remain asleep, as well as having a false nose to achieve a short, solemn-looking body. Finney wore body padding in the form of a t-shirt draped with cotton wool.
Pardon me, sir. I wonder if you could oblige me with a light.
Certainly.
Thank you. My name is Ratchet. Do I have the pleasure of speaking to Mr. Hercule Poirot?
Pleasure, possibly, Mr. Ratchet. The intention, certainly. You asked me for a light. I offered you one, and you have not used it. One can't deduce that without acute mental exhaustion.
Well, he looks pretty old in the end, don't you think? Not 60, of course, yet not 38 either. And here again was the problem with the moustache. Right, it is present, but is it gorgeous enough? Agatha Christie didn't think so. I wrote that my detective had the finest moustache in England, but he didn't in the film. I thought that was a pity. Why shouldn't he have the best moustache? She reckoned after watching the movie, which in other parts was much to her liking. No wonder, the cast is unbeatable.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're in distinguished company. Moreover, you're in dangerous company.
The film received 6 Oscar nominations, including a nomination for Albert Finney for Best Actor as Poirot, and a win for Ingrid Bergman as Supporting Actress for playing Greta. And now there was the first long-standing Poirot, played by the celebrated British actor Peter Ustinov. He did 6 episodes from the series from the late 1970s to the late 1980s, to the rather plausible critical acclaim, and received the unofficial title of the Charming Poirot.
Lucky? With me, it's the exercise of the little grey cells. Luck, I leave to the others.
Yes, I'd forgotten your opinions about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Some say that his impersonation of the sleuth was totally different from the young Poirot, partly to avoid the judgment that he was copying his predecessor. Ustinov paid much more attention to detail in Christie's character. His keen insight obviously came from his own foreign origins. His parents and grandparents came from Russian noble roots and artistic circles, so he was perfectly aware of the depicted time, life, circumstances and traditions of the members of the epoch society. By his acting method, Ustinov dived deep into Poirot's personality and as a result referred to the role as exhausting, explaining that Poirot is so terribly accurate and tidy in his mind and habits, so meticulous.
I wish you to consider very carefully a bathing cap, a bath, a bottle, a wristwatch, the diamond, the noonday gun, the breadth of the sea, and the height of the cliff.
Ustinov Poirot almost crossed paths with the next actor, who was recommended for the part by Christie's family, who had seen his theatre performance before. David Suchet is an English actor of Jewish-Russian origin who was destined to become a real Belgian on screen for 70 episodes and 13 seasons of Agatha Christie's Poirot on ITV between 1989 and 2013.
An animal attraction, would you think, Mr. Poirot? Well, things are looking up.
Now, indeed, wouldn't you agree that when you read Poirot books now, you immediately imagine no one else's face but the one of Suchet?
I also wish there were someone else I could trust. But I suppose I will have to put up with you.
And that iconic soundtrack for the series became sort of a trademark of the detective stories, watched by over 700 million viewers in over 100 countries worldwide. The actor attributes his popularity in portraying Poirot to the attention to detail that he paid to the personal eccentricities that Christie described in her novels. Agatha Christie's website tells that each day before filming, Suchet would read through his list of character notes, which contained over 90 traits of the sleuth, to help him get into Poirot's mindset. The notes ranged from highlighting Poirot's passion for tidiness to the fact that he hates golf. Although Christie didn't have a fact to see his acting performance, I think she would have been happy with the result. I have to tell you, my mother would have been very proud. Rosalind Hicks, Christie's only daughter, once said to Suchet in private.
You will not have realized, Hastings, that recently I have taken to wearing the false moustache. Even Georges does not know that.
Getting back to Peter Ustinov. In fact, they did cross paths with David Suchet in one of Christie's TV adaptations. Did you know that in the 13 at Dinner episode from 1985, Ustinov plays Poirot, while Suchet appears on screen as no one else but Inspector Japp?
Ah, Japp. What brings you out so early?
Early? I've been up for hours, on business, murder.
This is absolutely mind-blowing to even think of, right?
You actually spoke to Lady Edgware?
No, I've seen her, but she won't say a word without her solicitor. Until he shows up, my men are staying right on top of her. In a manner of speaking.
I guess everyone could imagine how hard could it be to make a new attempt on something that was done before with a huge success already. However, each epoch witnesses new takes on the role of the famous detective. Why not, right? It all keeps these captivating stories from the beautiful epoch of the 1930s alive. Anyway, British actor and filmmaker Kenneth Branagh wasn't afraid to present his own version of Hercule Poirot of the 21st century. He began his journey in his role with the evergreen blockbuster Murder on the Orient Express in 2017, which became a box office success that grossed a worldwide total of over $350 million against a production budget of $55 million.
You're the world-famous detective, Hercule Poirot. Avenger of the innocent. Is that what they call you in the papers?
And you are innocent?
You're fun.
He then strengthened his success this year in 2022 with the release of another crowd favorite story, The Death on the Nile, which received mixed yet still mostly positive reviews worldwide. Have you watched it already? I haven't, so I'll be happy if you share your recommendations in the comments.
What did you do last night?
You accused me of murder.
He accuses everyone of murder.
It is a problem, I admit.
And now they say there's gonna be the third movie in production. The title is not revealed, yet they say it's gonna be based on a lesser-known story. Well, that's even more exciting, isn't it?
You will arrest me now?
No. So long as you settle her affairs honestly and pay back what you owe.
Critics generally praise Branagh's impersonation of Poirot. He shared that in order to prepare better, he read all of the Poirot novels in chronological order, starting with the first edition of The Mysterious Affair at Styles. Listened to the recordings of 27 different Belgian accents by the gentleman of Poirot's age speaking in English, and met with a dialect coach 3 times a week to study and practice Poirot's accent. Was that enough? Well, it's up to us to judge.
May you find your peace with this. May we all.
In between the trailblazing Austin Trevor and the most recent Kenneth Branagh, there were a number of other interesting Poirots. An English actor, Alfred Molina, played Poirot in a single episode, which was once again based on the Murder on the Orient Express. I know it is a great subject, but come on, is there anything else worth of film director's attention?
For who? Oh, forgive me.
The screenplay was heavily modified, taking 2 hour time, and had a smaller cast than the novel. Not surprisingly, the film was poorly received. It was clearly inferior to the original of 1974 with Albert Finney, and sadly added nothing new to the perception of this drama.
I recognized you from that TV show. What they call you? Don't tell me. Super Detective.
Sleuth Supreme.
Oh yeah, Sleuth Supreme.
Another great actor, John Malkovich, put on the head of Hercule Poirot in the 2018 BBC adaptation of the ABC Murders, co-starring Rupert Grint as Inspector Holm. I've read all kinds of reviews. Some of them praised Malkovich's performance, and some said that he almost totally flopped. I won't lie, I haven't seen him in the role, yet the fact that his Poirot wears a beard rather than moustache is something against the hair for me. There was another impersonation that caught my attention thanks to the subject rather than the actor. In 1986, a great English actor, Holm, was starring in the television film Murder by the Book. According to the plot, Poirot confronts Agatha Christie about killing him off in her novel, Curtain. Poirot visits Christie and tries to take over the manuscript before it is published and kills his literal legacy. Now that's something original, right? The actor looks rather convincing too, so I definitely put it on my watch list.
How dare you keep bingo like that?
Obviously, there were several other English-speaking actors and quite a few international takes on the role of the Belgian detective. Perhaps you have watched some of them and could share your opinion. I'd be curious to read about your watching experience in the comments.
But only, of course, as far as the dictates of honor will allow.
So, out of those 8 Poirots, which one would make the top 3? What would you say? My personal choice is this. So far, I award the latest Kenneth Branagh bronze medal. Perhaps when I watch Death on the Nile and the 3rd movie, he get that chance to be moved one step ahead, but that won't be easy. The silver medal goes to Peter Ustinov. Moreover, I dare say that his Death on the Nile is my favorite, and I prefer him to Suchet in this particular episode. Obviously, the overall cast is simply gorgeous there. Maggie Smith, Angela Lansbury, Mia Farrow, Jane Birkin, David Niven and others. An irresistible ensemble of actors. Oh, I digress. And the winner is... Alright, the can't sensation here, it is always one and only, the perfect Hercule Poirot in my eyes. David Suchet. Would you agree with this rating? Or what would be your top pick? Let's discuss it in the comments and see you in the next video. Bye!
Right. I'll check it out.